The Cleveland Browns falling to the Atlanta Falcons 23-20. You were at this game, Aaron. You were there. You were live in the press box watching along, following along. You said on Sunday though, you may have Red Zone up, so you might not know how much of this game you'll actually watch because you're paying attention to Red Zone, but it seemed like it was a good game. It was a close game till the end. Younghoe Koo ended up hitting the game-winning field goal, 23-20. Falcons win. Everyone goes home happy. Give me a sense of what it was like in the stadium on Sunday in Atlanta, watching this game, the vibe around Falcons fans, the vibe around this team, being close up to it. What's the status of Falcons football in Atlanta?
Well, first of all, the culture is definitely a positive culture. And I don't get to be around every team's locker room or get to talk to players or coaches, but I do with the Falcons. And Arthur Smith has been very, very consistent this whole offseason, this whole first 4 games of the regular season about competition. And he believes in everybody on the team. Like if they're on the roster, and he said this a number of times yesterday after the game, if they are on the roster and they're in the game, it's because I believe in them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. And so we saw a lot of guys step up yesterday, specifically Tyler Algier having a nice day with Cordero Patterson. But Caleb Huntley came in, had 10 carries of his own for a touchdown. They split him out evenly. Cordero actually had the least amount of carries. He's a bit banged up, so I think that had something to do with it. But there was a point in time, it was Marcus Mariota threw an interception, and after that, they ran the ball 14 straight times. And Arthur Smith basically said, yeah, we're basically telling them we're going to run it every time. And when you can tell somebody you're going to run it every time and still have success, it tells you a lot about your team. And I thought that spoke volumes. He said his team believes in what they're doing. This Falcons team is a competitive bunch. And I still think they're one of the least talented football teams in the NFL. I don't think there's a bunch of talent there. But they believe in Arthur Smith. And Arthur Smith believes in them. And for whatever reason, they can find ways to get it done. And now they've won 2 straight games, albeit against backup Jacoby Brissett or Geno Smith or whoever. But those are the teams we're comparing them against, right? These are the teams that we're holding them to that standard of like, okay, are you worse or better than? We obviously know they're not the Bills, so we're going to hold them to the level of some of these lesser teams. And I think the Falcons showed that they can be at near the top of that list. And so. It was kind of a lackluster game to start. They had a big 4th down stop at the goal line, then a big turnover, which got them on the board. They were up early. They allowed Cleveland to come back, but I was impressed with the Falcons. I'm going to say this though, and this goes against everything that I preach and believe. Marcus Mariota has played pretty well. Desmond Ridder should start. I would do it right now. I would bring in Desmond Ridder as the starting quarterback right now. And it's not because I don't think the season's a success. I think Desmond Ridder actually might give them a better chance to win football games going forward. Mariota's got the experience, but Desmond Ridder right now could grow with the experience, and he's also not going to be such a drop-off from a Mariota. I know Mariota was supposed to be a bridge quarterback, and because they're 2-2, I doubt it's going to happen. But if I was Arthur Smith, I might turn to my quarterbacks coach and my offensive coordinator and say, you know what? Let's put in the young guy. Let's put in the rookie. Let's try to build this thing. Everybody's believing right now. Maybe this is the time we can get him on board. And if he comes and gives them a spark numbers-wise and they still win football games, you might have found your starting quarterback. So I would do it. That's my philosophy. I say Desmond Ridder starts.
I think you're onto something with that take. I do think that what you're getting from Mariota, I mean, in this game, 7 of 19, 139 yards, like he didn't do much, if anything, and he did turn the ball over. Your only worry that you'd have to present yourself with is if you do put Desmond Ridder in and he's a turnover machine, then then you're setting yourself back. But I do agree though, you have to you invested in him, go out and give him a shot, because it's not that big of a difference from what you have right now with Marcus Mariota. I get it.
It's not that it's not that big of a difference. You're actually improving. Desmond Ridder would have to be atrocious. Marcus Mariota leads the NFL in turnovers. Not only is he throwing picks, he's also fumbling the football. So again, I'm not saying he's playing terrible, because he's keeping his team in games. They've been close in damn near every game. But Desmond Ridder is a very smart football player, and he doesn't have the knack for turning the football over. I'm not saying he won't in the NFL. We'll talk about a guy later. But like Mariota has been turning the ball over. So why not? Like I just have this feeling if you're not in this mode of being successful right now, if you really don't have a chance right now, let the young guy get in there and play. Like he's seen 4 games now. I think you got to start thinking about making that change. Maybe it's not next week. Maybe it's the week after. Maybe it's after the bye week. I'm not sure when they have their bye week, but I'll give Mariota credit, and I'll say maybe it's not right now, but I would start thinking about it. Maybe 3 weeks from now. When's the next easy opponent?
I am pulling up their schedule.
Easier opponent, I should say.
I'm pulling up their not that. I'm pulling up their schedule right now, but I am on board with you saying the Desmond Ridder thing. I would like to see what Desmond Ridder has to do for this Falcons offense. This is a remaining schedule.
No, it's not easy. So I probably would not do it the next 2 weeks if this is the case. I would honestly, that Carolina versus Carolina in Atlanta, that's where I would do it.
Yeah,
that's where I would do it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
because they're gonna suffer 3 straight losses.
Yeah, I think I think that's the perfect spot. Is Carolina? Then you have a good game against an at-home game against Chargers team that's kind of reeling right now, and then a primetime Carolina. You got Chicago, Washington, Pittsburgh.
Easy games after
easy
that.
Games, like
not easy.
I shouldn't say easy games, but like one of those is an easy game.
Easier games for a young guy to come in and play.
Exactly. And then you have going into the bye, you can collect your thoughts, you can figure out what's going on, you can assess what he's done. I think that's the perfect spot. And I might have said that in the offseason. That was the spot for Desmond Ridder if he were to come in. But I think this is a good game for the Falcons as a whole. I think collectively, I like the fact that they were using all their running backs, 10 carries for Algier, 10 carries for Huntley, 9 carries for Cordero Patterson, 202 total rushing yards in this game. It's the most rushing yards in a game from the Falcons since week 15 of 2018. Can you name that running back?
And since when?
Since 2018. Week 15, 2018.
18? Oh, gosh.
Wasn't that Devonta Freeman?
It's either got to be Tevin Coleman or Devonta Freeman.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning Devonta Freeman. I don't actually know that answer. I wanted to see if you knew that answer, but
it's got to be one of those two.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, so let's shift gears very, very quickly because we're going to move on. The Browns side of things. What were your takeaways from the Browns in this loss?
Nick Chubb is still the best running back in football. I said it before. We did a short about different. His ability to push the pile, yards after contact, to break tackles, to put pressure on a defense is unreal. And I mean, I'm telling you, if you have not seen him live, it's easy to watch on TV and be like, oh man, he's breaking. Like when you see it, how he's dragging defenders for 4 yards when he should be a negative 2-yard gain, or goes for 6 when it should be a 2-yard gain. It is special. He's the best running back in football, pure running back. It's just unfortunate he plays on a team right now that doesn't really have a starting quarterback to come in there and be a game changer. That offense, though, I'm telling you right now, Deshaun Watson is going to be scary. If Deshaun Watson comes back, it's going to be a scary offense, despite people thinking they lack weapons on the outside. That offense is going to be scary. They probably should have won this game. They had some mistakes, and Jacoby Brissett couldn't make some throws when he needed to. So Cleveland is kind of where I thought they'd be. They'll hover 500, hover, and then hopefully Deshaun Watson can come in there and push him over the top.
Yeah, I loved this game, not only because of the game itself, but the fans from both the Browns and the Falcons were getting into it on our YouTube page from the recap or from the preview, and they were going at it of like, oh, our team's gonna kill you, and then our team's gonna kill you, and then it came down to it. That's what we love to see. That's what there were
a lot of Browns fans there too, which was surprising.
Yeah, okay, Browns fans showing out.
Ohio's not too far from Georgia.
Is that a thing?
I guess. Yeah.
How okay, not going to get into the geography here real quick.
Like 10 hours, 9 hours.
I guess that's not that bad.
No, I mean in comparison, it's not coming from the West Coast or anything like that. People could drive technically to the game.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get it. All right. So the Falcons defeat the Cleveland Browns 23-20.